Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside Line. This week we look at the new generation dual cab utes from Ford and Mazda, as well as the smallest, cheapest and most economical car in the Holden range. First though, we turn our attention to the 2010 Sydney Motor Show, which kicked off last Friday. It's Australia's only major motor show of the year, but there were still some key brands missing, such as Alfa Romeo, BMW, Ferrari and Mini. So Richard, did the show start off with a bang or a whimper?
Well, I don't think it was exactly a whimper, but I don't think it was a bang either, We're used to seeing concept vehicles at these shows, something that maybe points the direction to the next 10 years or something. There was none of that, really. And, as you said, there were those major brands that were missing.
Yeah, I suppose the few exceptions, there was the AMG Specials, we had the Jaffa C63 bright orange, and there was a pretty good-looking matte black SLS Gullwing.
Yeah, the SLS did look exceptional, and there were some classy cars there. There was the Lexus LFA, which is an interesting car. There's also Maserati and Lamborghini were there, but to me it just had more of a trade show feel. It felt more like a sort of a car lot than a motor show.
Yeah, there were certainly plenty of utes, and it was certainly a big show for Ford and Mazda, who both unveiled their new generation dual-cab utes. The Ranger and BT50 are twins under the skin that were developed and engineered in Australia. But Richard, the two brands seem to have gone a different way in terms of design.
Very different way in their designs. I mean, they may be twins under the skin, but on the surface they're definitely not. I mean, the Ford's a very rugged, truck-looking, big, beefy F-Series type car, whereas the Mazda, they've really tried to incorporate their small car styling in their truck, and I'm not sure that it works.
Yeah, it's very curvy, the design. It's reminiscent of the Mitsubishi Triton, which you also know it's quite polarising as far as sort of the tradies are concerned. We know they've said don't really like that sort of non-tough styling.
That's right, and I mean, if you look at the successful utes that are out there, the Hilux and those types of things, they are a bit more blokey and broad-shouldered than that Mazda looked.
But significant news on the safety front for the utes. They're both going to have curtain airbags and stability control standard across the range. That's something we haven't seen in that segment.
That's right. It's really lifted the bar, and the bar did need to be lifted because, I mean, most of the dual cab utes that are going around at the moment are a disgrace as far as safety is concerned. They're big, tall vehicles with a high centre of gravity, yet they've got no safety equipment on them.
Now, staying with the show, there were no Commodore Coupes at the show, unfortunately, but Holden did unveil its new city car. And what do we make of the Barina Spark, Richard? Well,
it's a funky-looking thing. I mean, I think the really significant thing about that car is it's brought that level down, the 12,490. I mean, it's an incredible price, but it doesn't come as a stripped-out, no-frills type of car. It's got 6 airbags and it's got stability control, and it's really going to shift the needle as far as that end of the market's concerned.
Yeah, we certainly seem to be seeing more and more competitors in this kind of sort of micro car segment. We've got the Suzuki Alto, and I think we're going to see the Chinese brands are going to come in at that end of the market.
That's right, and Nissan's got the Micra coming up at a very sharp price as well. It's an area of the market that everyone's really balked at in Australia because they've said, no, that's too small an engine, that's too, we need a bit more power. But it seems as if all the brands are starting to come around to that way of thinking.
Yep. Well, you can head to Drive.com.au tomorrow to read our first drive of the new Barina Spark, while Inside Line will be back next week for another batch of the latest motoring topics.